Hey everyone, and welcome back to our Python adventure. So far, we have been the ones doing all the talking. We have been giving our Python assistant a list of instructions and it can follow them perfectly. For example, we have told it to remember our name in a variable, to do some math. But what if our program needs information that we don't know when we're writing the program? Imagine you ask your assistant to order pizza for you. A good assistant wouldn't just guess, it would stop and ask you a crucial question. What toppings would you like? This is a huge step in programming, making our program interactive. We're moving from a one way street of just us giving commands to a two-way conversation. And in Python, the magic spell for asking a question is the input function. Think of input as your assistant holding up that notebook. When your program gets to an input, so Python will start executing each line of code, and when it reaches the line that has this input function, it will pause and wait for us, the user, to type something and hit the enter key. Whatever the user types, the input grabs that information and gives it back to our program. So you can store it, for example, in a variable and use it later. Now, before we jump into coding, there is one important thing about the input function that you must know. Um, so the way the input function works is that internally it converts anything that it gets into a string or a text. So, for example, if we type um, a number here, an integer 25, the input function, and we save it in the age variable, this age variable will not hold the integer value that we originally gave. So it will convert, Python will internally convert this 25 to string 25, so this text. So why is this important? So if we want to later do some math operation with the age, for example, if we want to say age plus 1, Python will give us type error because this is not a number, this is a text. So in order to solve this problem, we can use the int function. So we can wrap our text, in this case, the age variable will have a string, so a text. So for example, string 25. And with this int function, we're just converting this string type to an integer. So this age here after this line will be this integer. Now we can use this integer value. So now after this line of code, this age will be of type integer, so we can use this in our math operations. All right, I've got my VS Code open. Let's try this out in practice using the input function so that Python can get inputs from the user. So let's get it started. Let's say name. We want to, Python asks the name of the user. What is your name? And then as well as age. Again, we can use this. We can type how old are you. So basically what will happen is that we will see now when we run it, Python will stop at this line. Let me do this. Let me print something. Let's say, for example, let's just print some stars. So Python will execute this line, will print 20 asterisks, and then when it comes to this line, when it sees the input function, it will pause and it will ask the user this question, and then we as a user need to put some input. So in this case, we will write our name, and then it will be saved in this variable. And then it will come to this line, and again, because it has input function, it will pause here and we will need to gives input, in this case our age, and this will be saved here. Let's run this, and then let me print these variables as well. Let me say name is, and we can put multiple inputs to the print function. So now I have this string name is, and then these two inputs, and let's say age is age. Let's run. So you see that the 20 asterisk is already printed out. So Python did execute this, but it has stopped. It has paused the execution, and it's asking me what is your name. So let's put our name, let's say Bob, and then again the line after that is also an input line, so it asks for input. So we put our age 25, and then we hit, and then Python proceeds. First this line, which is name is, and we see name is Bob, and then the next line, age is 25. So very simple. This is a way to interact with Python. Let me show the last thing, which is that whatever we put in this input, it will get translated to a text or string. So let's check what is the type of the name and the age variable. So let's print type of name, as well as let's print type of age. As we discussed in the lesson, this input function internally will convert anything that we give to a string or text. So remember, we gave Bob as a name, which was already text, so no problem. But the 25, the age that we provided, it was integer, it was a number. Let's see if it is still an integer. So we see the name is a string, but also the age, interestingly, has been converted to string. So it's not a number anymore. So if we want to, let's say if our code uses, I don't know, next year, age, let's say if we had this in our code, we will get a type error. As we see, it says that, yeah, we cannot. So because we have a text and a number, Python cannot apply this addition operation. So in order to fix this, we need to convert, or it's also called cast, this age, which is now a string, to an integer. And to do that, we can simply use the int function and then age. So what happens is that this int function will convert our text into a number. So if we now do this, I will also print the type of age, that we can confirm that it's now integer, and this line will work. And I can also print the value of this new variable so that we have everything. So we see in this line we have a print about what is the type of age, and now we see it's integer. Previously it was a text or a string. And also we can now do this operation because both sides are numbers. All right, I hope you learned something from this video. See you in the next video.